Hello my friends, just in today's afternoon update I told you about a very difficult situation with the Russian logistics, a Russian bridge that was kaboomed, and here we have the exact video from the Ukrainian drones that definitely paint the full picture. Let's watch it. So the strike happened on one of the bridges, a big kaboom. This is the railroad bridge. Well, it was hit before already, but Russians tried to repair it. And this is the result of the job. This is the last drone that hit this bridge, and you saw the devastation. Well, Russians tried to shut down Ukrainian drones with the help of the maybe Panzer S-1 air defense, but they missed the drone, as you might see on this video. So missile went to the ground. Well, this is one more railroad and the Russian railway transport that was also hit by Ukrainian drones, but you see that the engineering equipment was hit as well. This huge crane was devastated, so the road is no-go. You see what happened to the crane? It dropped down. And the rest of the train was kaputted as well, one of the carriages. And guys, again, I'm telling about the outstanding quality of the video. Even though it's black and white, it's not the thermal camera. Actually, it looks like some sort of the mix of the camera, so the thermal part is still active, but the visuals, they're very detailed, and the fact that our drone operators received this high quality signal with a low latency, it's amazing. The railroad bridge through the northern Crimea channel near Rozdorna village has been destroyed by Ukrainian Special Operation Forces together with underground agents, well, sabotage agents, I guess. The bridge was an important logistical artery for supplying the Russian army in the southern direction within the Russian-occupied Crimea. Yes, it is the territory of Crimea, not the Kherson region, because the previous bridges were kaputted on territory of the Kherson Oblast. Here Ukrainian drones flown to the far distance. After the strikes on the bridge, Russia sent repair brigades. The repair equipment and remains of the bridge were destroyed too. Yes, it is a fantastic kaboom, so Russia is unable to withstand the current threat. But not just Ukraine is successful with the middle strikes cutting Russian logistics, we also see lots of the long-range strikes on Russian oil infrastructure, and not only. My friends, just a usual reminder, please press like to this video just right now while you're watching it, and also subscribe for the channel, it matters a lot. And obviously, if you can, you may support my job on Patreon. The link for it is in the video description below, or join membership of YouTube channel. Thank you so much, you're amazing. And now let's continue with the video. Okay, Putin went on a press conference. Actually, it was the meeting with some of the officials of Russia, where he stated that he'd been told by various of the sources that Ukraine has attempts to create problems with energy resources and affect the tourist season. Wow, what a surprise! Ukraine is launching attacks on the rear, so government and the Ministry of Defense should minimize the consequences of such actions. I've took it from the Russian channel and they're all laughing about it. Also in the comments, they say that Grandpa wants движуха a lot, but he can't. Yes, in the Russian military channels, they say that this guy is not capable to reach the goals of the special military operation. It doesn't mean that the Russian Z publics are against the war in Ukraine. No, they want to continue even more, but they are not okay with how Putin carries it out. The Soloviev live show. This is the pinnacle of the Russian propaganda. They invite guests familiar with what is happening on the front line, like for example Razvedzona. He is the military guy himself, he is a military blogger, and he knows the story how it is with those strikes, and he is calling Putin a stupid guy, openly. Yeah, later on it was cut from all of the Russian recordings, but it was live show, so it went to internet at least, and I would say that there is a huge critics of Putin among that community, and if there is the revolution in Russia, I think it might be started not by a Russian opposition, it is simply useless, but those could be just crazy Z patriots who would like to change the current regime for a more unhinged one. And Putin is digging his grave with his own propaganda, brainwashing those people, putting ideology into their heads and not presenting some sort of the victories, achievements. Z patriots cannot handle it for a very long time, they're already boiling, and Putin needs to present the victory. But there is nothing possible under current situation. Ukraine takes initiative, and we see the reaction from Z community. So it's time to fight full scale, Putin says, and this Russian guy says that we are already fighting at the full scale, and the only next step is to use nuclear weapons. While Putin may still escalate against the NATO countries, he has resources for the small, limited special military operation, and he might present it as some sort of the victory for his Z patriots. It is like one of the variants in how situation might evolve. But there is no visible victory for Russia, at least in Ukraine. Yeah, I'm constantly telling about expansion of the special military operation to NATO countries because Putin is telling about it. For example, today on press conference, he mentioned that Europe is getting ready for the war against Russia. Europe wants to be directly involved into the war. He states like that, which means you need to invert. Putin is getting ready for the war against Europe, and European intelligence officials, they all say that this is the very possible variant. My friends, today I showed you the compilation of the images of the Russian supply trucks which were hit by Ukrainian drones with fantastic video quality of the cameras. Now we have the information of what kind of the drones were used for those missions. Those are Ram-2X, which are made in cooperation with Germany. So German help is absolutely enormous for Ukraine. And this is how the drone looks like, reminds a little Lancet with this X type of the wings. And there could be one engine, there could be two of the engines, depends on modification. Those drones are very, very effective, but you see the image taken by the Russian drone interceptor, so they're also being intercepted sometimes by Russian drones. However, in particular case, with the Russian bridge that was hit and lots of the vehicles nearby, the Russian air defense really wasn't prepared for Ukrainian drone strike, even in a freaking Chongar bridge. A very narrow choke point, which is very important for the Russian logistics, but no air defense was there, it seems like. And Russian military bloggers, they're shouting about it like what the hell is happening, that if we don't have enough air defense even in the most important areas. And I would put the defense of the Kerch Bridge also under the big question, because Ukraine operates very close to that important Russian connection. Yeah, this is the real image of Ram-2X. It's kind of the big drone, and it has the camera gimbal. So it has zoom, it has a wide camera, it has thermal camera, very advanced thing. This is the view from the Kerch Bridge itself. You see, the smoke is very, very close. The Kerch oil port is still burning, plus Ukraine hit the local power plant, so the picture around, as you might see, is very, very nice. And Ukraine continued to kaboom even more bridges. We have new satellite images showing that if there is some of the vulnerability in supply connection, Ukraine always hits it. And it doesn't matter if it is closer to Ukrainian positions or in Crimean Peninsula itself. And kind of the interesting satellite images we have from the Kerch Bridge, look at the smoke generators. Yeah, this is the Ukrainian smoke generator, the local port that is still on fire. And look at the arc of the bridge. It's not yet been kaboomed, but it's gonna be something like that in case of the successful strike, of course. But for now, it's just the smoke coming from the special units, devices, generators. Russia just blocks the road and the smoke is coming. Could it be one of the pictures for my thumbnail? Like, in a way, it's not the clickbait, I'm just gonna put it there without any sort of the explanation. Because it's not an AI, that's the real image taken by satellites. And here we have again, yeah, of course I will not write that, oh, Kerch Bridge kaboomed, but without any sort of the context, because this looks interesting. Alright, for the first time Ukraine launched aviation gliding bombs on Russian positions. They are very precise, very effective. Ukrainian MiG-29 fighter jets performed this mission very successful, so they demolished one of the Russian dugouts in this tree line. Fantastic. Around 2 months ago, I heard about the development of the Ukrainian gliding bombs, and seeing them in action after this short period of time, it is astonishing. Guys, remember this big factory that was kaboomed in Voronezh just yesterday? This is the kaboom itself. Well, Russia filmed a video about what was there inside, and let's watch it. I turn off the music because there could be some of the copyrights. So one of the largest silicon factories of the Russian Federation. Yeah, some of the equipment is quite old, but not all of the equipment, and probably gonna put my image a little bit here. Design and production crystal semiconductors, devices, integrated circuits. Again, I'm gonna move myself, bipolar integrated power management circuits, so very precise electronics is being produced there. And this video was published officially by Russian channels, some of the chips, some of the transistors, semiconductors, and other things. 60% special purpose products, 3 billion crystals per year. This is how important this facility was, so Russia lost everything of that, guys. And this will undermine Russian capabilities to produce high-precision missiles, air defense systems, and so on. A leading exporter of discrete electronic components based in Russia and neighboring countries. And yeah, they have some of the modern equipment, older equipment, some of the laboratories, and so on. Yeah, of course, it's not the production of the chips in Taiwan, but still, Russian military was the main customer of this factory. Yeah, and now it's gone. It was demolished completely by Ukrainian, not Ukrainian fully, but French or British-made Storm Shadow or Scalp missiles. 3 of them went there and demolished facility completely with all of the equipment inside. The job was conducted absolutely brilliantly. And definitely they were producing chips, because those mirrors are used for the chip production. The most precise mirrors are produced by German company Zeiss, and they're used by Taiwan chip manufacturers. And for example, even China doesn't have technologies to repeat Zeiss precision mirrors. That's why Taiwan mainly may produce those extremely small semiconductors. But Russia, of course, in Russia the production is completely different, however, it's still being used by the Russian military. Not any longer. Well, about Donny, maybe we have some of the positive news, but I have very low expectations about Donald Trump and his rhetorics, but there could be some of the changes. But according to RBC Ukraine, this is the Ukrainian media source, Trump believes that it's Ukraine's military pressure, in particular long-range strikes on Russia and active actions on the front, that are bringing Russia to a state where a real diplomacy becomes possible at all. So if the article is correct, and they might refer to some of the Ukrainian sources familiar with dialogue between Zelensky and Trump, maybe Donny, after all, doesn't believe to Putin, and he is calling Ukraine to continue. The leaders discussed these issues in both private and during the joint conversation, with the participation of the French President Emmanuel Macron. And Emmanuel Macron, later on in his press conference to the French press, said that Donald Trump changed his opinion. Before, he was sure that Ukraine will lose the war and Ukraine should agree on capitulation, basically giving own territories to Russia as exchange for some of the peace talks. But now Ukraine shows actively on the battlefield that it has an upper hand. Yes, for now not everywhere, but the situation is changing in Ukraine's favor, which is fantastic. I think Donald Trump didn't expect it, as well as many experts, including myself, but Ukraine managed to produce this very sophisticated drone component, with the help of which Ukraine just cut Russian logistics. It is awesome. While Russia tries to deploy the electronic warfare to occupied regions to jam the Starlink signal, but Ukraine also nails those transmitters. Those were the special trailers with antennas here, so before and after. Plus, some of the building was hit. It is very well visible. Alright, despite some of the political bullshit from the Polish President Nawrocki, still cooperation is ongoing between Poland and Ukraine. For example, cooperation in drone technologies, and Ukraine helps Poland to test the drones. This is a very fast drone, it is called Striker. The drone with a flight range up to 1000 kilometers was tested near Kiev. According to the military news, Striker is a deep strike drone with a maximum takeoff weight of 140 kilos. The device may carry a warhead up to 60 kilos, so it's like the Shahed drone, but I prefer this design more. You see how nimble it really is. And they have the jet version. Well, that one is fast, 325 kilometers an hour. It is almost impossible to intercept it with the standard AA cannons. So mobile groups against those drones are not that effective. That's the main reason to produce jet drones. They might have some of the smaller range and capacity, but they are very fast. So the chance for them to reach the target is higher, and I am very happy actually that Poland started the production, or maybe just for now tests of those drones. They are in development phase, but they absolutely need those tools. Well, it seems like this night is going to be a real hot one for Russians. You see, a new heat wave is coming, yeah. Our meteorologists are working hard to provide the hell temperature for especially Russian oil refineries, oil storages, and Russian military infrastructure. That's what I call a greenhouse effect. Also, we have the warning from our volcanologists that some of the new volcanoes may start to erupt elsewhere in Russia, including the capital city, Moscow, maybe. Shoigu Gerasimov. Yeah, guys, it happened 3 years ago. 3 years ago. Time flies really fast. Prigozhin, who was the part of this rotted-down corrupt Russian system, was abused by it and decided to change something, but he turned back. Okay. Yeah, it was definitely his mistake to stop, and he would have saved lots of the lives of Russians themselves. But Putin wants the war to continue. Well, it's the lesson for the future Prigozhin, who will of course appear and will go to Moscow. Never turn back, or else the destiny will be the same. And of course there are some new memes with Prigozhin. His Wagner army doesn't exist any longer. Russia just wasted it as the used condom. Well guys, that's it for today, and please support my job on Patreon. The link for it is in the video description right below, or join membership of YouTube by pressing button join, obviously if you can. And also don't forget to press a like to this video and subscribe for the channel. It matters a lot. You are awesome, you are fantastic. I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.